So, law is one of the oldest professions out there, built on like centuries of tradition. But think about this for a second. How do you actually train for a job where the stakes are just incredibly high? I mean, a single mistake can literally change someone's life forever. That's been the central puzzle for legal training for, well, forever. And it really brings up a massive question.
And this is it, right? This is the big challenge legal education has been wrestling with for generations. You can read every single casebook, you can memorize every statute, but none of that really prepares you for the moment you're standing in front of a judge or, cross-examining a witness for the first time. So the real question is, how do you bridge that gap without putting real people at risk?
Well, the whole thing starts with a problem that, trust me, every single lawyer knows all too well. It's this huge disconnect between what you learn in a classroom, the academic theory, and what it's actually like to do the job. We call it the practice gap, and it pretty much defines the first few years of a lawyer's career.
So, look, on one hand, you've got your traditional law school education. And don't get me wrong, it's fantastic for building that foundational knowledge of legal theory and how to analyze cases. But then, on the other hand, you have the actual day-to-day reality of being a lawyer. And that's all about talking to clients, figuring out a case strategy, and, performing in a courtroom. And boy, is there a massive gap between those two worlds.
And we're not talking about a gentle learning curve here. It's more like a cliff. Seriously. For new lawyers, those first few years are basically a trial by fire. And the scary part is, the mistakes they're making while they learn, those have very real consequences for the clients who are trusting them with their lives, their businesses, their futures.
Okay, so how do you build a bridge over that giant chasm? Well, more and more, the answer seems to be technology. So let's take a look at a really cool, innovative solution that's tackling this head-on. It's called Legalyse.
So what is Legalyse? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a flight simulator, but for lawyers. It uses AI to create this incredibly immersive and realistic world where you can practice and master actual lawyering skills, all without any of the real-world risk. Zero.
And you might be wondering, okay, who is this for? Well, it's not just for one specific group. It's really designed for everybody in the legal world. We're talking law students who want to get a head start, aspiring lawyers cramming for the bar, even seasoned pros who want to sharpen their skills or maybe dip their toes into a new practice area. And of course, it's a huge tool for legal educators who want to bring this kind of hands-on training right into the classroom.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But what's it actually like to use it? Come on, let's step inside the simulator and see how this whole virtual law office thing works.
The whole process is actually super straightforward. First, you pick a scenario. Maybe you're dealing with a contract dispute, or maybe it's a family law case. Then, you start engaging with these AI-powered characters, clients, witnesses, you name it. You'll complete different legal tasks. And here's the cool part. You get instant feedback on how you did. And then, this is the most important part, you can just do it again. Replay the scenario, learn from your mistakes, and get better.
And I want to be clear, this is not some clunky multiple-choice quiz. No way. The platform uses advanced natural language processing, which means you're having actual dynamic conversations. The AI client is going to react to your questions. The virtual witness might get defensive if you push too hard. The AI judge will absolutely challenge your arguments. And it all happens based on the choices you make in real time. And it's not just about flashy courtroom arguments either. The platform covers the entire life cycle of a legal case, so you can practice a whole range of skills, from that very first client interview to examining evidence, all the way to drafting complex legal documents and figuring out the big-picture case strategy.
And that really brings us to the heart of why a simulator like this is just so powerful. It's all about developing real skills in a place where it's 100% safe to fail, a totally risk-free zone. The benefits here really ripple out across the entire legal community. For students, it's all about building the confidence they need to be ready for their career from day one. For lawyers who are already practicing, it's an amazing way to sharpen their skills or even explore a totally new practice area without any commitment. And for educators, come on, it's a complete game changer for their curriculum. They can actually assess practical skills, not just book smarts.
And this, right here, is the core promise. Just think about it for a second. Can you think of any other high-stakes profession where we just expect people to learn everything on the job? Pilots have simulators. Surgeons have simulators. This is about bringing that exact same philosophy to the world of law. It's a place where you can make mistakes, learn from them, and grow, all in a completely safe environment.
So, let's zoom out. what does a tool like this actually mean for the future of the legal profession as a whole? Well, the impact could be absolutely enormous.
Maybe the single biggest impact is about accessibility. Technology like this makes high-quality, hands-on training available to everyone. It doesn't matter if you went to a top-tier law school with all the bells and whistles or not. A platform like this, it basically levels the playing field.
And the best part, the technology is only getting better from here. When you look at the roadmap, you see stuff like expanding into more niche practice areas, creating multiplayer scenarios where you can team up or even go head-to-head with other people, and they're even talking about virtual reality integration for a courtroom experience that feels completely real. How cool is that?
Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's about using technology to finally bridge that gap between theory and practice. It's about making sure that when a new lawyer walks in to meet their very first client, they're not just book smart. They're competent, they're confident, and they are ready to give the best possible representation from day one.
So it leaves you with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? For centuries, we've trained lawyers pretty much the same way, focused on books and lectures. But now, with tools like this that allow for practice that's scalable and completely risk-free, you have to wonder, is the future of legal training already here?